Putin was not anti-American or anti-West or anti-Europe when he came to power. He wasn't in love with the U.S., let me put it that way, but he wanted normal relations. Even then, this did not set things in an inevitable course. It didn't help, but the real changes that put things in a disastrous course were on the security side. First, the expansion of NATO, then the bombing of Belgrade in 1999, 78 straight days of some harebrained, terrible scheme of Madeleine Albright, and to break apart Serbia, which was Russia's ally, and create Kosovo and put the largest NATO military base, Bondeskiel, in Kosovo to cover Southeast Europe. Okay, Putin watched that. He didn't like that at all. Then came 9/11, and Putin said, okay, we want to cooperate with you. We can help. We also face insurgencies. We don't like this. The U.S. more or less brushed Russia off at that point. In 2002, the U.S. did something even more provocative and profound, which was to abandon the anti-ballistic missile treaty. This, for Russia, was a first-class security disaster because the ABM treaty was viewed as a protection against a U.S. nuclear first strike. And this was viewed in an incredibly harsh way by Russia, and it is a massive danger. Then immediately in 2003 came the Iraq invasion over Russia's absolute objections, over the UN Security Council, absolute objections. Then in 2004 came a NATO enlargement to 7 more countries, including the 3 Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, including 2 Black Sea countries, Bulgaria and Romania, and including 2 Balkans countries, Slovakia and Slovenia. So by 2007, then the temperature was up to here. And President Putin gave at the Munich Security Conference a very strong message. Stop this. Stop this. You are pressing right up against our red lines. Do not go further. And then famously in 2008, the U.S. announced a policy that had actually been adopted 14 years earlier, but it made it public, which was the demand that NATO would enlarge to Ukraine and to Georgia in the Caucasus. And this for Russia was unbelievable. Now Russia would be surrounded by NATO in the Black Sea region. And European leaders at the time called me privately. I had long conversations. What is your president doing? This is so reckless, so provocative. By the way, many of these same leaders now are completely mum. We love the United States. This has nothing to do with NATO, this war. Of course it's about NATO. The whole thing is about NATO. It's always been about NATO. And this was true in 2008. And then quickly to bring the story up to date, in 2011, again, these neocons doubled down. We're going to overthrow Syria, where Russia happens to have a naval base. We're going to overthrow Libya, where Russia has an ally. And we then took steps and in 2014 overthrew the government of Ukraine, Viktor Yanukovych, on February 22nd, 2014. This was a coup in which the U.S. played a significant role. Sad to say, I saw some of it with my own eyes, which I did not want to see, but I did see some of it with my own eyes. The U.S. was up to its neck in that coup. And of course, the Russians knew it. They even did us a favor of intercepting Victoria Nuland's phone call with the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Jeffrey Piat, who's now a senior State Department official. Victoria Nuland's my colleague at Columbia University, unbelievably.